Before I get into this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, give this channel a chance. Check out other videos in the playlist I'll have linked in the video and as well linked down below. It's your boy Tkame Love Anime back with another video. Like I did before with the mystery power box, I told y'all that I was coming with the structure deck that came out of that, and of course it was Mechanized Madness. That was complete random, but how much y'all would have thought that like it would have been this one? So I know structured decks on this channel do good, so we're gonna go in depth and see what's going on with these. So I know all about this deck. Honestly, I played against it quite a few times. This is a deck that my friend ran against me, but let's get into it. So Mechanized Madness, like I said, I got into this before, but I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth. It's been a minute since I refreshed myself. I'll always show play mats because I mean this is a starter deck, so they come with play mats just in case you aren't in Yu-Gi-Oh and want to get into it. You can check the play mat out. So usually always have a boss monster on the play mat. And then it gives you instructions on the back on certain, which is good because it caters to certain people in certain structure decks. It'll tell you how to play it in certain ways and boss monsters. So with this deck, before we get into it, so with this deck, it's basically like this is the boss monster, and you use other Machina monsters to get to this boss monster, which is the one that you want to get to. It has most of the Machina monsters. The big ones have effects that help play into your favor, but yeah, there's just other kind of like sets and stuff. But this is a quick look at that. So the boss monster in front, of course, Machina Side L. So this is the big boy boss monster. So of course machine archetype, of course. So cannot be normal or set, must be special summoned by a card effect, quick effect. If you could target one machine monster you control, destroy that machine monster, and all monsters your opponent controls will attack less than or equal to it. If it face up earth machine monster you control except Machina Side L is destroyed by a battle or card effect. With this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use the effect of Machina Side L once per turn. It's kind of a mouthful right there, but that is the boss monster. This is the big boy monster that you want to get to. And then we have some other monsters, some Machina Possess Storage. And it says this card is normal or special summon. You can target one Machina monster in your graveyard except Machina Post Storage. Special summoned in a defense position, but it cannot activate its effect this turn. You can target one other Machina monster you control and one spell or trap your opponent controls and return them to the hand. You can only use this once per turn. And then Machina Aerator. So you see how these play into each other in a way. You can discard one other Machina monster, special summon this card from your hand during your opponent's turn, quick effect. You can target one monster your opponent controls, special summon from your deck one Machina monster with a different name and equal or lower level than that monster. If you do destroy that target monster, you can only use the effect of Machina Aerator once per turn. So you kind of see these are the monsters that really are key in this deck in a way. But we're gonna get into more monsters. But Machina Redeployment. So now you have your spell cards that play a factor, because you definitely need spell cards to get to these, because it's kind of, you're just trying to trade Machina monster for Machina monster and build your way up to the big monster. So activate one of these effects, discard one card, add two Machina monsters with different names from each other from your deck to your hand. And the second one is discard one Machina monster with Machina card. Add two Machina cards with different names for each of your deck to your hand, except Machina Redeployment, and you can only use that once per turn. Unauthorized reactivation. Target one machine monster you control, equip with one appropriate machine monster from your hand or deck to that monster by the union. Monster you equip cannot be special summoned this turn. And now we getting into some other monsters. So I'm gonna just go ahead and separate these kind of by spell and monster, and we'll get back into those will affect monsters. Machine Raider. Okay. Machine effect. You only discard one other machine monster special summon this card from your hand. You can target one machine monster you control special summon from your graveyard. One machine monster with a different name and equal or lower than the level's monster, and if you do, destroy the target monster. You can only use each of them once per turn. So let me know down below if you guys like when I go in depth and I talk about the cards as well as I read them to you. I don't want to make these too long. I want to make these enjoyable and informative in a way where somebody before they want to go buy this deck, or if they pass upon it and want to come back again and view it, they can get in depth and quick review on time before they buy it. So I'm just gonna really just kind of glimpse through these cards with you and just leave them up there. So Machina Gear Frame, of course, everybody knows Peacekeeper is one I remember. Machina Force, Mega Form, Cannon, and Machina Soldier is one I remember as well. Sniper, Defender, Commander, Covenant. That's a really going too. Jizakuru, the Star Destroyer Kaji. Okay, Snowplow, Hustle, Gen X Alley Birdman, Scrap Receiver, Recycler, Torque Toon Gear. So the other monsters are just machine monsters. Like I said, they help build up to the other monsters. So some of these cards, because I have the structure deck already, but I got it randomly out of the power cube, so I unfortunately have another one. But this card in a way is probably one of the more important cards in this structure deck. I'm gonna read this one because I feel like this one has to be known. So once per turn, you can target one monster you control, equip this card to that target, unequip this card, special summon it. A monster equipped with this card is treated as a tuner. It gains 500 attack and defense, and also equipped monsters will be destroyed by battle card effect. Destroy this card instead. So it's a strap-on to your Machina monster, which can help save your Machina monster, which also turns it into a tuner. And there is no extra deck monsters in here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there is no extra deck monsters. I'm just gonna get these out the way, of course. Eternity Code, nice. But yeah, there is no extra deck monsters in this, but this is a card that I feel that out of sight of this structure deck could really get some play, because it turns machine monsters into tuners, which you would think that, like, yeah, machine monsters in a certain way would be tuners, but that is not the case all the time. So, which I think that card really comes to clutch. And when I was playing against my friend, that card really changed the level of the battlefield and really put the game in his favor for a couple turns. So righty driver, lefty driver, Despot 001. Can never go wrong with Despot 003. And then Machina Defense Perimeter. I'm gonna leave that up there for you so you guys can read that. Machina Armored Unit, Iron Call, Iron Draw, Magnet Reverse, Limiter Removal, Ties of Brethren, okay, Pot of Rice, of course, Cosmic Cyclone, Supply Squad, Machina Overload, Cyber Symbol, Blaster, Back to the Front, 2 back to the fronts, Trap Tricks, Begone Knave, and Soulman Strike. So yeah, I mean, nothing really crazy with the spells and the traps, just standard spells and traps that, I mean, work in any structure deck or any deck in general. The monsters are the key here, really. Some of them, I mean, this deck in a certain way can really be fun, but it does take just a little bit understanding and having a plan to play this. I mean, most decks nowadays, I don't really know. I would think you would want to go first with this, just because the setup, you need setup moves to play these cards, because cards trigger off of other cards. So I definitely think that you would want to probably go first. I would choose to go first, but probably the most important card in here to me would be this card, because the deck is really straightforward when it comes to playing it. Monsters are straightforward, spells are straightforward, trap tricks. Well, let me take that back. Monsters aren't really straightforward because it does take a little time to get used to this. Playing against it, and as well as playing it, I would say playing it more would take a little bit more time, because how much nowadays the Yu-Gi-Oh's decks and cards that have a more font, so it requires more patience and understanding to get these cards out on the field and actually play them in a way that will help you in the duel. But other than that, I mean, I know every time I talk about Machina, I'm like, Machina. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. It's really a starting point when it comes to machine monsters. I mean, this is really broad to me when it comes to machine monsters. There's a lot more machine monsters out there that could be a lot more fun in a way to play, but the structure deck is really good. I mean, if you haven't had this before, you want to try something different, definitely give this structure deck a try. It's always good to try different structure decks. It shouldn't be very hard to find this. If I had to rate this structure deck, I would probably give it a 4 out of 10 to find. I don't think it's that hard to find, honestly. It all just depends on where you live at. So that was my review of Mechanized Madness structure deck. I ran through it with you guys. Let me know, like I said, if you do like when I go through in depth and read the cards and talk about them a little bit more. Let me know down below in the comments. I just try not to make this video too long for you, but I wanted to inform you in any cards and spells and traps in this structure deck. But with that being said, I'm Tkame Love Anime. On this channel you can find anime, manga, talks in the future, as well as the main key on this channel, Yu-Gi-Oh! And with that being said, thank you for your time. Have a blessed day. Peace.